within 5 years, ano ang dapat nila gawin para...
Ikaw, anong ginawa mo noon? Nung nag-umpisa ka. Kaya very important talaga na yung mga bago ngayon. Kahit hindi bata, kahit dumating sila dito in their 40s, dumating ako dito kasi in my 20s ako, okay? Or let's say dumating sila in their 20s. Especially kung single pa sila. Gusto ko silang bumili agad ng kanilang property. Kasi, ang importante sa property, sa real estate is to get into the market right away. Or get into home ownership. Kasi time will be on your side. Kapag ikay matanda na nalagpasan mo na yung time for the property to appreciate, owning a home is like leveraging. Yan yung strategy ng investing na leverage investing. With the bank's money, your investment is growing exponentially. Hindi mo maiipon sa bangko yung amount ng appreciation ng property. Kasi nga leverage investing, pero safe na leverage. Ganun yun. Strategy yun eh. Investing strategy yun. And the best leveraging strategy is through mortgage. At the same time, may sarili kang bahay mo. Yung bahay mo, hindi ka nanganganib na ipapaalisin ka basta because you own the property. And the banks is not in the business in becoming a landlord. Like, we don't want your house. We don't want your property. We just want the interest. So, even if your gets delayed, we just don't kick you out. We will try to work with you para magstay ka sa property. Hindi ka gaya ng landlord. Mamiss mo 2 payment, may notice ka na. You go, di ba?
Tapos, kahit kaano ka nakatagal nag-re-rent doon, wala kang makukuha na kahit
kahit isa walang bumabalik sa'yo.
So, hi everyone! I hope nandyan pa rin kayo. Welcome again sa TessTV. And today, we have another special guest. I am so excited for her to share her story, kung paano siya nakarating sa kanyang status ngayon. I'm sure marami siyang ikikwento sa atin. So, I hope you join with us until the end of this video because I know so many of you will gonna be inspired. So, hi Lorina.
Hello.
Actually, hindi ko na matandaan kung gaano na tayo katagal magkakilala.
Oo nga eh. That was a while back. I'm still at 49 and Fraser.
Yeah. But for sure, yung first meeting natin, that was about mortgage financing application.
Yeah,
so, but then, yung first transaction natin, you did a great job, very successful. Kaya, hindi yun ang last namin na pagkikita. Nasundan pa yon after a while, bumalik kami sa iyo, and again, bumalik kami sa iyo, and so far, until the last one, you always made it
happen.
Taga saan ka sa atin?
I'm born in Las Piñas.
Oh, sa...
Born and raised, I studied there. That's the only place I know.
Oh, Las Piñas.
Yeah, Las Piñas.
Baka naman gusto mong mag-hi sa kanila.
Saan? Sa Las Piñas?
Sa kanila.
Hello, Las Piñeros!
Si mama.
Mother ko? Sige, mother, I'm here. I'm a guest of Tess Formales, my long-time client.
So, gaano ka nakatagal sa Canada?
Well, I arrived March 1990. So, basically, 35 years.
Yeah.
35 years na. Oo.
Ganon ka na kayang?
Huwag niyo na hulaan yung edad ko. Pwede ba? I actually arrived in Canada from Greece. I was working in Greece.
Oh, hindi ka galing mismo
sa Philippines. I left the Philippines when in 1985, I believe. That was during the Marcos Revolution. Malacanang Palace is being bombed and
affected
during,
you, no?
Yeah, during the Market Revolution, I was I just graduated from university, and there's no prospects for us. A lot of us has no jobs because the economy has tanked. That was the time during the Marcos was sent to Hawaii. So the economy was a mess. So most of the graduates at that time left actually the country. I went to Greece I actually didn't plan to go there. Kaya lang, sumama ako dun sa kaibigan ko na nagpunta sa agency Then we decided, okay, mag-apply tayo doon, magnanani tayo doon, mayayaman mga tao. Okay, let's go. So we went. I worked in Greece for 4 years. And then I came to Canada through the Foreign Domestic Movement Program.
From Greece?
From Greece.
Hindi ka na bumalik sa Philippines?
I visited, but it was hard going back to Greece. So that's when I decided, and there's no hope for setting up a new career in the Philippines because that time the country is still a mess. There's coup d'etat. Yeah, so that was in the 1990s. And so when I went back to Greece, I decided I cannot go back to Philippines. I have to find another place that I can actually work and establish a life. Because in Greece, it's a beautiful country, but you'll be stuck being a foreign worker there.
Hindi kagaya ng Canada that you have the opportunity to become open visa, permanent, or
and then
citizen.
actually build a life.
Yeah.
Because the only reason why I left the country is for income. And you know how it is in Philippines. If you're older, back there, you cannot find a job.
Yes.
The discrimination is very strong, right?
I know.
And the prospects are really bad at that time. The country is, after the 20 plus years of Marcos dictatorship, so the country is still building. But I can't wait. I have to find
But you know what?
an income.
That give you opportunity to leave the country, and then you ended up being here
In Canada. Luckily at that time, it's a lot
Yeah.
easier to come to Canada.
That's true.
So I
So
came
fast,
here.
right?
Yeah. And
So you came as a caregiver.
a caregiver under the Foreign Domestic Movement Program. Now it's changed, right? It has transformed into many different programs. At that time, yeah, it was about 3 years or 4 years before I got my open visa
So
or
after
permanent
that,
status.
anong next?
Nag-apply ako sa 7-Eleven.
Also, you work as
Yeah, I started as clerk. Part-time muna kasi yung aking family na inaalagaan, they still need me. So I didn't just leave them. So I was working part-time as nanny, and then nagtrabaho ako sa 7-Eleven, part-time clerk. I took the night shift kasi I still work with my employer, which is also good kasi they offer me free. Well,
accommodation.
free, hindi naman free. I only pay $300 for the accommodations. But, it was in the west side, so it's stable housing. At the same time, I have part-time income. So,
Yeah.
binabayaran pa rin nila ako, and at that time,
And you still living in their place.
yeah, I'm still living in their place. I have a very good accommodation. It's a separate suite below. So, it's a good deal for us, for me. So at that time, nagpapadala pa rin ako sa Pilipinas dahil I helped out with my sibling. So, I became a part-time clerk sa 7-Eleven and then got promoted until ako yung maging manager, store manager. So, that was probably in my 6th year at 7-Eleven, I became a store manager. And then from store manager 7-Eleven, I went into London Drugs. However, basta year 2000, I hurt my back. Because over the years probably of, hard work and lifting vacuum cleaners. And I'm not a big person, I'm a small person. So I had a disability. For 2 years, I was off work.
You were so young by that time.
Yeah, I think I was, no, not so young.
So,
I'm in my 30s.
Hindi ka nakakapagtrabaho na or limited yung iyong...
Well, I had to stop working for 2 years because I'm in pain. I cannot do anything.
Paano yun? For 3 years? Ikaw lang...
For 2 years. That's
For
why
2
it's
years.
very important for people to have insurance.
Okay.
Disability insurance.
So during that time, meron ka na?
When I was working at London Drugs, they require us supervisors or any management employee to have insurance. So I was paying into the insurance plan, and it's lucky that it is a requirement kasi very high pala ang risk for disability because of the job, not the nature of the job. We're all on our feet all the time, and then you lift. And I think that's what happened. I was doing the planogram and I'm doing the display, and probably I twisted my back and while lifting something, and from that time on, my 1 week, 1 month became 2 years.
Oh.
I cannot go back to work, and I cannot go back to that kind of work.
Until this time, di ka pwedeng
No.
mag-work?
Yes,
Oh.
I have a restriction. That's why I had to really think during that time, what shall I do? Because
Hindi mo inisip na uwi na lang ako sa Pilipinas?
no, because of healthcare.
Oh, okay.
How will I survive without my healthcare? That will come out of your own pocket when you go home. So I can't.
And besides, it's very expensive in the Philippines.
So I had to go through a lot of tests and make potentially surgery. But you know what? I ended up actually going to the Philippines to have surgery because of the lineup
Here,
here.
it takes longer.
I have my sister who's a doctor encouraged me to come back home for a while to get a second opinion.
Oh, that major.
And then when I went back, it's an emergency case. I had to be operated on. They took an MRI. They said in 3 months, if you don't get this operation, you might lose the function of your leg. So I had to make a decision.
That's how serious.
It was serious, yes. So my saving grace is that I had a disability plan that paid me during that 2 years, that I can survive on that income.
So your surgery in the Philippines,
Hmm.
pero yung benefits mo dito, nagamit mo?
They had to stop my disability benefits from the insurance company because they require that I be treated in Canada. But my doctor, who's looking after my care, said, if you incur any expense in the Philippines, I will support you in any medical explanation of why you need to go. So I was able to get the expense refunded by medical services.
Oh, that's still great.
Yeah, so we have a very good plan. That's what I say.
After the surgery, bumalik ka?
Yes, I returned. Took me about a year of rehabilitation.
Another year?
Oh yeah, it's a major surgery. It took me a while before I can actually bend. It's a major surgery. So it's like learning to function again, and so that's major. But luckily during the time that I was on disability, the only limited time that I can use, I studied, because I know that I might not be able to go back to my work before, because it will require a lot of lifting and walking, and I cannot do that. So I decided to take this course, Canadian Securities course, because I was researching. I need to have a desk job and all that, according to my insurance company. Okay, desk job. And the closest thing to my education, I'm actually trained as an engineer. I'm a management industrial engineer.
In the Philippines?
In the Philippines. I graduated in Mapua.
Okay.
That's the degree that I have. And it has a lot of management type, business and law and all that. So I took courses here in Canada while I'm working. But at that time, I needed to get this course that will give me the necessary skills to switch to a desk job. So before I left for Philippines, before my surgery, I passed the course, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Passed the course. So I submitted my resume to a special program. It's called Career Edge. And there's a portion in that program that allows people with disability to get back to work using that program. So I submitted my resume. And actually it was picked up by BMO and Scotiabank. But I was back home having surgery. So when I get back, I open my email and there's this email saying, oh, we want to interview you, blah, blah, blah. And it's passed already. It's been 3 months. So I emailed back. I said, can you still consider me? Can I still come in for the interview? And they said, you are okay. So
They
that's
really need people that.
that's how I got hired by Scotiabank.
So this Scotiabank, until now, you
Yeah.
are still.
I still am with them because basically I feel I owe them something. They gave me a second career, right? They gave me a break.
So when they interviewed you, they hired you right away.
Well, it's a special program. I'm hired as an intern. They're not paying my salary. It's a special program by the government, I think. So who will not hire? Well, I guess I passed the interview. So they had to place me in one of their branches. But then during that time, it's called an internship, 6 months. The program is paying me. But before I even finished the internship with Scotiabank, I was invited to apply for a position. So as soon as my internship is finished, I switched to a regular employment with Scotiabank. I think the lesson that I got is whatever fate hands to you, as long as you take the positive
Yes.
and go with it, and don't dwell on the negative, just take the positive, then things will turn out okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Anong level ang pinagsimulan mo from the bank?
Oh, I started from scratch. I started as a teller. Regular position but part-time, which is okay with me because I'm still recovering
Yeah.
from my surgery. So I think about 20-25 hours. So that's fine. But the mid-office is going to be emptied of staff. There will be losing 2 staff. So I had to apply for this position as a full-time staff. So because I have already about 6 or 7 months of teller training, then I jumped into the mid-office position, which is what they wanted me to do, which is okay. I'm fine with it. So when I became in the mid-office position, I did that for 5 years. The mid-office position. That's how I learned the ins and outs of the banking industry. From investments, bank account, credit cards, lines of credit, loans, mortgages.
So what happened after 5 years?
My manager, who recruited me to do some phone calls to do the RRSP season, was so impressed how I managed to put a lot of business in the books. So she told me, Lorina, you take the course. When you pass it, we'll put you into the personal banking advisor program. We call it personal banking officer program.
Oh, they still asking to go to school?
Yeah, it's just an internal type. Like, yeah,
But you were still working.
I'm still working.
Oh, okay.
They pay for that school, by the way. So I said, okay. As soon as I passed it, I gave her my certificate and she told me, okay, good, you're in the program. After 3 months in the program, my manager was promoted to a bigger branch and she took me with her. But I didn't realize that when she took me with her, I'm going to be assigned as a personal banking advisor. I only had like 3 months.
Very fast.
That's probably when you met me at 49th and Fraser. I was at 49th and Elliott at that time.
I don't remember.
So I became a personal banking officer, and that's where I met a lot of people, met a lot of newcomers. They used me for their Start Right program advertising. My picture was all over Metro and 24 Hours, the
Really?
newspaper.
Oh, I think I saw one time I saw your face somewhere. But I
Yeah,
just don't
it's on the
remember.
paper.
That was long.
It's an advertising for our Start Right program.
So what happened after that?
After that, a lot of Filipinos started contacting me and coming to the branch where I'm working to open their bank accounts, get their credit cards. New immigrants come. Ganun talaga tayo mga
Masaya.
Filipino. Masayahin tayo. Pag nakilala mo na, kababayan, o
Kaibigan
ate,
na.
tita, kaibigan na. It's easy, right? Okay.
Yeah,
So that's what I find in my career. That's why I'm encouraging people na consider the banking as their career because it's a good my goal is to actually assist our community in the banking industry. I think I did my part to educate Scotiabank about the needs of the Filipinos. So yun ang ginagawa ko ngayon sa bangko. I try my best to represent.
Do you want to leave
our
your
culture.
legacy to someone from the Philippines?
Kasi,
So, kung sino man sa inyo ang may interest sa kagaya ng ginagawa ni Lorena, she's here, willing to help and train and be a coach. Yes. So, since that time hanggang ngayon, do you have the idea how many people you think you help to become
to be financially better off.
not only that, homeowners?
Homeowners, okay, ganito.
Homeowners.
I started 20 years ago. I started at 49 and Elliott. I started and then proceeded. 49 and Elliott, I'm a clerk. I'm a teller. And then, naka-ilang taon ako doon. I think 4 years. And then, lumipat ako sa 49 and Fraser. In my 20 years, actually, siguro, okay, I did my numbers.
Di mo na mabilang.
When I am a financial advisor, I have an assigned client of about 500. I have to help those people. Okay? So let's say 10 years doon, that's about 5,000 people. And then on average, I see 100 clients a year during my when I was a home financing advisor. I'm in my career now 10 years as a home financing. So that's about okay, 5,000 plus another 1,000.
Wow.
Mga 6,000.
Wow. Are they
6,000
all,
households.
you think, from the, like, Vancouver, British Columbia, or other places?
Okay. Some they started here in BC, but some had moved to Alberta. Some have moved to Toronto. Some had left. They bought their property. They retired in Philippines. They sold and then they bought
And that's it.
in the Philippines. So those are varied, and it's not only Filipinos. It's
So
different
many
different people.
Mostly are Filipino.
But a lot of them are Filipino.
So let's say, for example, yung client mo from Vancouver, naglipat ng Toronto or Alberta, are they still able to get a
Scotiabank mortgage?
Scotiabank
Yes.
mortgage through you?
Yes.
Oh,
Kasi ang Scotiabank is a federally chartered bank. We're not credit union or regional.
I see.
We can operate from across the country. We have that license to operate. So, kung may mortgage kayo dito at gusto nyong lumipat, then I can also handle the mortgage over there. Ang pagkakaiba lang, kailangan yung notary nyo is from there. Kasi yung registration is provincially regulated.
Yes.
But I can handle the mortgage.
So, ano yung pinaka-challenges na na-encounter mo sa iyong mga clients?
Nako. Ibang-iba ang banking sa Pilipinas. Iba rin naman ang naging experience natin because I remember back home when there was this mess about Marcos. My mom actually lost money sa rural bank niya at sa Bangko Filipino because these banks collapsed, di ba? So, Filipinos are worried and then it's not so easy to deal with banks sa atin, dami hinihingi. So, most Filipinos when they come here, especially if they're from the provinces, or may bad experience sa bangko, they tend not to trust the bank. And then, ayaw din natin na may utang. Para may stigma yung utang, di ba? And then, how do we save our money? Nilalagay na sa alkansya, nilalagay sa safe, nagpapaluwagan tayo, or ibibili lahat ng bahay, like lahat real estate, diba? Yun ang atin. We want safe. Kung mga South Asian, lalagay nila sa ginto. They want gold, right? So, yan ang mga... So, walang pagkakaiba sa mga Pilipino, especially Filipino. It's very difficult to change that mindset and their experience. I have to convince them that it's not bad to have utang, if you're putting it into real estate, if you're asking it for a car loan, basta reasonable yung car loan, because you need those to improve your income, to have your housing, and then yung investment nyo ilagay nyo sa mutual funds or sa bangko para tumutubo. Some people, they hide their money, they put it in the safe. But in Canada, if your money is not in the bank, that's questionable money because of the strong anti-money laundering laws. At saka yung iba sanay mag-ipon through paluwagan. That's a very
Scare?
no, that's a strange concept here. Hindi namin alam yun. The bank don't recognize that money sa paluwagan. Hindi namin kinoconsider yon. That is the hardest part when someone will come to me for a pre-approval and I ask, where's your down payment? Susweldo ako sa paluwagan. Hindi natin yan pwedeng gamitin. Because the concept is so foreign in Canada.
So that doesn't consider as your income.
No, it won't be considered as your savings. So, and then also, tsaka yun nga, yung pagka nagkapera, ang gusto agad nila, i-pay down ng mortgage or ilagay lahat sa, sometimes it's hard to convince them that save some cash, we'll borrow the maximum we can borrow para meron pa kayong cash. Because in an emergency, hindi mo naman pwedeng basta ibenta yung bahay, di ba? You need liquid cash. And sometimes people from back home or Filipinos are normally afraid of utang. Sometimes I need to convince them that utang is not bad if it's going to be put in an asset that's appreciating in value.
Not a liability.
Hey.
So thank you so much until the next part.
Oh, maybe.
Yes, next
Okay, to be
part.
continued.
So,
Okay.
yeah, thank you for watching for our part 1, and I hope you still watch our second part because this is more interesting, and I know and I believe na marami kayong matutunan at you never know kung hindi pa kayo nakakapagplano to buy your properties. If you are still renting, maybe this is the time for you to think about moving on to the next level, because Lorena will help us or will give us the idea on how we can work it out. Yes. So what can you advise to this kababayan natin na nagre-rent sa ngayon or new immigrant to become a homeowners?
Unang-unang gagawin is they have to commit to buying a home. Okay? Yun ang pinakamahirap na decision. And actually, it's not only the parents, if there's especially grown children na nakakaintindi na, kasi we need the whole household to prepare.